right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. So, I have had, I want to say a lot of requests for this video, but really it's been, I think, the same, like, one or two people requesting it every day. And you guys have been very vigilant about this. And the irony is I had the intention of reacting to this all along. It just wasn't time yet. And now it's time. So, this is from Mr. Beat, and the beat goes on. This is titled, Basketball Wasn't Supposed to Be This Popular. And apparently this is going to be like a really cool like deep dive history of the history of basketball. So, you know, we should be going all the way from Springfield with James A. Naismith all the way to modern times and see the journey, if that's what I understand the video to be. So anyways, let's check it out. Anybody who's actually like into the history of the sport, which I happen to actually really be, welcome. I think you're going to enjoy this video. I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you guys if you want to check out Mr. Beat's channel. I'm not aware of Mr. Beat, but from the comments, it seems like he's a pretty beloved content creator. So might be worth a check out. And same with me, I might be subscribing by the end of this video too. But excuse me. But anyways, you also see a list of channel members, and shout out to channel members. I appreciate you guys. Like the vid if you could, guys. Let's do this.
Mr. Beat here. Basketball is one of my favorite sports. Kobe. Bucket.
It's not the worst shot I've ever seen.
Hundreds of millions of human beings play this sport. Billions watch it. And yes, it brings in billions of dollars each year. Heck, the highest paid athletes in the world are basketball players.
Isn't that crazy?
The National Basketball Association, or NBA, which is the top professional basketball league in the world, made $11.3 billion last year alone.
Damn,
that's
man.
One league, $11.3 billion. $1 billion.
That's a lot of gambling money, man.
Is 1,000 million, and they made 11.3 of those 1,000 millions.
So 11,300 millions.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
You can find basketball fans in every country. Depending on how you look at it, it may be the third most popular or even second most popular sport in the world. And yet, it didn't even exist 135 years ago. And it began as something to just keep the kids busy indoors when it was too cold to go outside.
Yeah, wasn't it 1890, if I remember correctly? Basketball was invented by James Naismith.
Here's the story of how basketball went from a weird gym experiment to a global phenomenon, baby. Kobe.
And if you're asking why I know this stuff, it's just because I remember the 100 years of hoops when it was 1990.
Fuck it.
I did a book report on it. James Naismith.
If you were alive in the 2020s like I was, you would know that inflation has been really bad this decade. And since everything gets more expensive every single year, I'm constantly looking for new ways to save money and optimize my spending. And one way I've done that throughout the 2020s,
cook way more at home. Fresh ingredients from the supermarket. Even that's getting expensive. It's a lot cheaper than going out to eat these days.
Rocket Money.
Also Rocket Money. Yeah, if you have too many subscriptions.
Sponsor of this video. And yes, I've literally been using Rocket Money.
And yes, I'm reacting to an ad now. I gotta stop. Let's get through this.
This entire decade. It's helped me track my spending and categorize transactions to see exactly where my money is going. I love using it to cancel unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money will automatically scan your bills to find savings. In fact, Rocket Money has helped its customers save up to $740 a year when you use all the app's premium features. Rocket Money is free to download, but you can
So you gotta pay some money to save some money.
get a free premium trial when you
2026 is whack, isn't it?
sign up with my link. Go to rocketmoney.com/MrBeat or scan this QR code. Whoa-ness. I'll also put the link in the description of this video. Thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Whoa. Wow.
The shocking history of basketball. Ooh, that was
Other than
off balance
volleyball,
there, buddy.
basketball may be the only major sport in world history that can definitively trace its origin to just a single person. And who was that person? This guy.
James A.
James
Naismith.
Naismith. I mean, it's just a statue of him, but you know.
That is cool, though.
This is what he looked like.
Where is that? Is that like the Basketball Hall of Fame, or where is that statue?
Hey, you want one of those fun facts? Well, the guy who invented basketball spent most of his life in my hometown and is buried here. In the fall of 1891, Naismith was an instructor at the
YMCA school.
Seriously, the Young Men's Christian Association Training School in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's now called Springfield College.
Anyway, Naismith's PE students were bored.
Stuck inside due to the cold and nasty weather outside, Naismith had tried to keep them active by doing gymnastics or calisthenics. But that wasn't any fun to students. They wanted something more competitive, something they could play with a team. And so, Naismith's boss, a dude named Luther Glick, said Naismith should invent a new game that, number 1, could be played indoors. Number 2, keep the boys in shape. And number 3, not be too rough, like football or rugby.
And so he did. Naismith came to class one day in December 1891 with rules for a new game he was going to teach his kids how to play.
He nailed...
So wait, was it 1891? Was I off by 1 year? Hold on.
1891 with
I was off by 1 year. Damn it, I'm getting old.
rules for a new game he was going to teach his kids how to play.
He nailed up 2 peach baskets on opposite ends of the gym balcony, grabbed a soccer ball, and split his class of 18 into 2 teams of 9. Even though the peach baskets were randomly about 10 feet, or 3 meters, off the ground, because that's how high the balcony was.
That is crazy. Look at the laces on this thing. Imagine dribbling this ball around.
To this day, nearly all official basketball hoops are 10 feet off the ground.
Well, not this one. They usually let kids shoot around on shorter hoops, like myself.
They had to pass the ball around and couldn't run with the ball. And then, once they got near a peach basket, they had to throw or bounce the ball into the basket.
Yeah, from what I understood back then, there was no dribbling because of the way the ball was. It was just like plant your position, pass the ball around. Get an open shot, take it.
Time a team got a ball in the basket, it was a goal. The team with the most goals won.
Or we could call this a bucket and say every time you score, you got a bucket, which is kind of how I think it all started.
Game. Naismith students weren't enthusiastic. Another new game, one said.
Soon, Naismith typed out those 13 rules for his new game and tacked them up on a bulletin board. We're now inside the DeBruce Center, where the original rules of basketball, the exact copies that were on the bulletin board at that gymnasium at the Y in Springfield, Massachusetts that Dr. Naismith posted, they're actually in this building where I'm at right now.
Wow.
In fact, I'm going to show them to you.
This would be cool to check out.
See?
Wow.
Okay, these are actually a reproduction. Because of exposure to light, they put them in a dark room somewhere. But I swear, in this building, the original rules of basketball exist.
That's
I
cool,
like to
man.
brag that I live
I
near
gotta
these
admit.
original rules of basketball and that they are on the campus of my alma mater, the University of Kansas.
More on why that is in a bit.
December 21st, 1891.
Okay, same
According
year.
to multiple sources, that was the date of the first ever game of basketball.
The final score of that game? 1-0.
Wait, wait, I'll come back to that. I just wanted to point out, back then, they didn't cut the hole out of the bottom, and there obviously is no net. This is just a bucket. So you scored a ball, the ball sits in the bucket. You need to climb up the ladder to get the ball out and get the ball back in play. Can you imagine?
Of basketball.
What
The final score of that game?
For all you old heads out there, it's kind of the equivalent of back in the day in the 80s when we had the rotary dial. Not only telephones, but especially the televisions. So every time you want to change the channel, you got to get up, go over to the TV, change the damn channel, go sit down, and then if it goes to a commercial right afterwards, you're like, oh, somebody else get up.
1-0.
And that
1-0.
single point came when William Chase made a shot from 25 feet away.
Jamal Murray hit a
We
shot.
also know the very first person to ever score a basket.
Now, of course, someone had to climb up there and retrieve the ball from the peach basket after Chase made that shot.
No holes in the bottom yet. That came later.
Well, the boys loved this new game, and so did the YMCA, so much that it spread the word about it to other YMCA schools in the region.
And the game wasn't just for the boys.
After reading about Naismith's new game, a woman named Senda Berenson introduced it to her female students. Since she didn't have peach baskets, Berenson used waste baskets for the girls to shoot in. The first recorded women's basketball game took place on March 22nd, 1893.
All right,
the
that's
players
cool.
all wore bloomers, and no men were allowed to watch.
Now, the game wasn't called basketball right away.
When Naismith decided to publish the new game's rules in a local newspaper, he realized it didn't have an official name yet. Some of his students suggested he should name it after himself, Naismith Ball. Instead, he went with the name basketball.
Man, things would have been a lot different if it was just called Naismith Ball.
The goal was to get the ball in the basket. Kobe. Make it rain.
Next thing you know,
Guys, that slanted driveway, we could all relate to this, right? Growing up. Like, that's terrible, dude. That is terrible. You had to go run through the street every time to go get the ball. Been there, done that.
Make it rain.
Next thing you know, Naismith's game was being played at YMCA's around the country. They even added holes
in the
to the bottom
backboard.
of the baskets. Still, compared to today, those early games were pretty chill and slow-paced.
And because the YMCA was a worldwide organization, basketball soon quickly became a worldwide sport, too.
In less than 2 years, it had reached France, China,
Now that looks interesting.
and India. The first known game between two teams representing colleges.
Wait, what does that even signify? What is that layout for? We got half court. That makes sense. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess top of the key. If we had lines going out here, now it's starting to make more sense. What we're dealing with. So we got the paint, which is way skinnier than it is now. And then we got this going outwards, protruding outwards. So yeah, it's a different game.
China and India. The first known game between two teams representing colleges went down on February 9th, 1895.
Okay.
Minnesota A&M, a college which later became part of the University of Minnesota, beat
Wait, so after 4 years, it's being played at universities?
Hamline University 9-3. Then again, that was
9-3.
when basketball was still played under the rules that allowed 9 players to play on one team at a time. With the help of folks like Lambert Will, the rules evolved quite a bit in those early years. So yeah, those rules are outdated. Well, crap. The first known game between two college teams in which players each had 5 players playing at a time went down on January 18th, 1896 between the University of Chicago and University of Iowa. The first known, quote, professional basketball game, which means the players were basically actually getting
They got money?
paid to play, took place on November 7th, 1896 in Trenton, New Jersey.
I mean, that's not bad. 5 years after its creation, like, we're not talking about we're talking about some guy with a basket, like, creating this game. 5 years later, people are getting paid to play it. That's a pretty fast turnaround.
Players each earned the equivalent of around $578 in today's money for participating in the game.
Around that time, James Naismith took a job here at the University of Kansas. Oh, the job had nothing to do with basketball.
The university hired Naismith to be a chapel director / PE teacher. Duh. They paid him the equivalent of just over $50,000 a year in today's money.
Cheapskates.
Around the time Naismith first arrived at the university, which is in Lawrence, Kansas, by the way, basketball was considered a sissy game. Not even considered a real sport.
Well,
yet.
guess what? It was until the 70s or so, and then actually, no, it wasn't. It was until it wasn't anymore, when you had the Bill Russells and Will Chamberlains out there, and then it was a man's sport. And it was a tough sport, and now it's back to being a soft like Charmin sport. So I guess it's gone back to its inception, huh?
But that didn't stop Naismith from teaching his new PE students how to play.
And wouldn't you know it, they also loved it.
Soon enough, Naismith started a campus league, and then the university let him pick the league's best players to form the school's first official team
Crazy.
in 1898.
They mainly just played YMCA teams.
Naismith would often step in as the referee during these games.
But then the university was like, hey, James, do you want to like totally coach these guys? But then James was like, coach? These guys don't need to be coached.
And soon enough, Naismith indeed became the University of Kansas basketball team's first official coach. And here's a crazy fact
Don't do that.
for you. Naismith was the only University of Kansas basketball coach in history to retire with a losing record.
Let me rephrase that for you. The only person to ever coach basketball at the University of Kansas to have a losing record throughout his career was literally the guy who invented the sport.
That's hilarious. And he said they don't need to be coached.
Smith's players, though, went on to become one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. In fact, he'd take Naismith's job and then go on to win 3 national championships and 24 conference championships over 39 seasons.
He definitely must have picked a day where this place was closed. If not, people would be like, what the hell are you doing, man? You're gonna break something.
That man's name was Forrest. No, not Forrest Gump.
Oh, my guy.
Forrest Allen,
Forrest Gump.
Fog Allen.
Yep, that's a statue of him. And today the University of Kansas basketball team plays at the historic arena behind me right now, Allen Fieldhouse, named after Fog Allen, yes.
It's a special place for sure, even if you're not a KU basketball fan. It's the loudest college basketball arena in the country.
Dang,
Literally.
looks cool.
The playing surface is named James Naismith Court,
Oh,
of course.
cool.
And guess what that street's named? Oh, you can't see it here. Come on. That street right there. It's
Naismith Drive.
Very good. Extra credit for you.
That's awesome.
Fog Allen would go on to coach players who later became Hall of Fame coaches themselves. Okay, enough about KU. Do realize I only brought a lot of this stuff up because I'm biased. I went to the University of Kansas and have cheered on my Jayhawks many times at Allen Fieldhouse. Anyway, over the following years, the rules of the game continued to change. For example, for many years, basketball was played in cages and there was no out of bounds.
Cages?
Kobe. In 1906,
I've never heard of the cage thing.
organizers began replacing wooden baskets with metal hoops and nets like this, which you're probably more familiar with.
By that time, many African Americans had begun playing the sport, but leagues would remain racially segregated for decades afterward. The first independently organized black basketball team was the Smart Set Athletic Club of Brooklyn, New York.
Smart Set Athletic Club. Yeah, that should totally also be a band name.
Also by that time, many realized they could make serious
Imagine a punk band with that name.
money off the game, and professional leagues popped up. Many came and went. The first ones were regional, with many cities having multiple teams. During World War I, the sport got introduced to a lot more people, as soldiers would play it during downtime.
Wow.
In 1926,
World War I.
a team popped up in the south side of Chicago that called themselves the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1926. Dang. They've been around for 110 years, officially. 110 years. Still rocking. That's awesome.
They started out as
So the Globetrotters have been around longer than any type of NBA or official league. That is really cool. That's something to be proud of.
serious competitive team before evolving into entertainers, and today have fully turned the sport into an art form. The most famous professional team of the 1920s, though, was the original Celtics, not to be confused with today's Boston Celtics. Nah, man, the original Celtics were based in New York.
And they even played
Oh,
at
wow.
Madison Square Garden. Take that, Knicks.
But yeah, the original Celtics captured the attention of millions of Americans as they dominated nearly every game they played.
In 1936, another notable
Sounds
team arrived on the scene. The All-American Redheads. Yeah, that was really their name.
Oh,
The All-American Redheads
Wait.
were the first professional women's basketball team, but they played by the men's rules and played against men's teams.
Sweet.
They toured the country in a limousine.
were they all really redheads?
At one point, and apparently really dyed their hair red, unless it was naturally that color already. Jump ahead to 1946, and a group of arena owners created the Basketball Association of America, hoping to fill their arenas during hockey's offseason. 3 years later, the league merged with its rival, the National Basketball League, to form the aforementioned National Basketball Association, or NBA. The first NBA game went down on November 1st, 1946, between the Toronto Huskies and the New York Knicks.
1946. Okay. So the league has been around for 80 years. Right? Yeah, 80 years. Crazy. What a journey it's been on.
Knickerbockers, a team that still exists that I mentioned earlier that
Yep.
we now just call the Knicks.
The irony is, I was having a conversation with a friend earlier today, and the question of Knickerbockers, like the full length name of the New York Knicks, I was like, "What the hell is a Knickerbocker?" And we got into this conversation, and I actually looked it up, and it's a type of pants. It's like a type of trouser, like a knicker, like I don't know, I don't know the old terms, but yeah, it's it was pants, but then also I guess the New York natives also were called knickers or knickerbockers, which is just weird. Like I kind of ended up like doing the research, and at the end I'm like, well, are they named after pants or are they named like they're natives? I still don't know. I got to hear you guys' reaction or your guys' response. Let me know in the comments. Is Knickerbocker like the team based on the pants type, or is it like literally just saying like y'all are New York natives? Wow, buddy.
Because syllables are difficult. I mean, hard.
Back then, games were slow-paced and still low-scoring. There was no shot clock, so teams could just play keep away from their opponent or just dribble the clock down endlessly. That all changed in 1954 when the 24-second shot clock was introduced.
At the buzzer. 3, 2, 1.
The same shot over and over again.
Bucket.
Forcing
Use that on the intro too.
faster play and revolutionizing the game.
The 1950s also saw the NBA
Wow, that was a
integrate.
cool look, by the way. Oh, okay. So here, okay. So we have an inside line and then an outside line. The outside line matches what we're used to in the modern game. So was this inside line where they were boxing out during free throws then? It kind of looks like it, huh? With their positioning. Let me back it up a second. Was it a video or a picture?
Bucket.
Forcing
Oh, no, it's not. I'm wrong. look, they're in the outside line. What's the point of the inside lines then? Because that's normally spacing for the players in position. Very weird.
Faster play and revolutionizing the game.
The 1950s also saw the NBA integrate.
Folks like Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper, and Nat Sweetwater Clifton became the first African Americans to play in the NBA. Then came Bill Russell, who joined the Boston Celtics in 1956 and then promptly led them to 11 championships and 13 seasons.
No big deal.
No big deal.
And don't forget about Wilt Chamberlain, who played at the University of Kansas, I might add. There I go on about KU again.
He went on to the NBA to dominate, at one point averaging 50 points a game. To this date, Chamberlain is the only professional basketball player in history to score 100 points in a single game.
Holy crap.
Yeah, holy crap indeed.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he scored 100 points as his team, the Philadelphia Warriors, beat the Knicks 160 to 146 on March 2nd, 1962. At the time, college basketball was still just as popular, if not more popular, as the NBA, and just 4,124 people witnessed it. The game wasn't even televised.
Okay, so 4,000 people, because I've always kind of wondered about this. So 4,000 people saw it and never said anything against him. Like, basically, no one ever said, nah, he really didn't. I saw the game. He didn't score 100. I guess it's totally legit, isn't it? It's got to be.
Then again, Wilt Chamberlain had quite the advantage over the other players. He was 7'1".
More and more folks were realizing that if you had the height and if you could jump high, you automatically had an advantage in this sport.
Yeah, but having an advantage doesn't equal immediate dominance. Remember Sean Bradley? What was he? 7'6", I think? 7'5"? He wasn't better than the other centers, you know, but he did have an advantage. Who else? Manute Bol, same story.
Right. I called it a sport.
By the 1960s, it was definitely a sport. And the decades since, the players have gotten consistently tall.
Wait. New York, that's the Knicks. That Phil Jackson? I think that's Phil Jackson. Let me know in the comments. That's got to be Phil Jackson.
Taller and taller and taller.
Yeah, that's
but
my boy Sean.
Don't forget about the ABA.
In 1967, an exciting new league called the American Basketball Association, or ABA, started that brought in new ideas like
the three-point line.
Kobe. Hey, he's drilling.
The slam dunk contest.
That's not the best looking shot I've ever seen. Oh, man. I want to say he's drilling all these shots, but I know he's keeping those. He's putting those takes in.
Best. Slam dunk.
Oh, boy.
Well, that didn't work out very well.
No.
The full court.
That was good. That was funny.
Press.
Oh, man.
and the shoot-around before the game. The ABA was louder, faster, and frankly, more entertaining, and it gave us future legends like Julius Erving,
Yes, sir.
aka Dr. J. By 1976, the ABA and NBA had merged, and indeed, the NBA absorbed the ABA's flair. After the NBA introduced the three-point line in 1979, teams began to completely change how they ran their offenses. In 1979, teams averaged fewer than three three-point attempts per game. By the mid-2010s, around 32 three-point attempts per game.
Hold up. Where was it around here? Ratio, so percentage. So in the mid 90s, it was 11%. Is that 11% of the shots? I think so. This would be like 3 out of 100. This would be 11 out of 100. And now it's at 38 out of 100.
2 three-point attempts per game.
I think that's how to read it.
But let's go back to the 1970s for a moment.
This might surprise you, but around the time the NBA introduced the three-point line, the league was struggling with poor ratings and a bad public image. And then came Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, baby. Their rivalry began in college and got reignited in the pros.
Wow, this video even more so just establishes these guys saved the NBA. And then Michael Jordan took it and ran with it. But these guys really they provided the real rivalry we needed, because the Wilt versus Russell thing was so one-sided. But this was a real rivalry.
Celtics and Magic's Lakers dominated, combining amazing star power and teamwork on the court and Mad Riz off the court.
And I'll point out the obvious too. I'll say it out loud. The fact that this was in the late 70s, and we got not only a rivalry, Boston and LA are completely different places. And then when we have this, we got the white guy against the black guy. You know, like it was absolutely perfect. Everything that needed to happen for the sport to blow up. And these guys did it. And it ended up being like best buddies afterwards. I love it. I absolutely love this story between Magic and Larry.
And then came Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Highlight reels rolling.
Enter the GOAT. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to see where basketball was before MJ, and then what it became.
When Jordan entered the league in 1984, he took everything to another level.
Yep.
Athleticism, competitiveness, marketing, and style. Even shorts got longer after him.
did.
Jordan's 6 championships with the Chicago Bulls in the 1990s, along with the Dream Team of American superstars competing at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona, made the NBA.
Who's he? I know PJ, I know Lenny, I know Coach K. Who's this guy? And who's this guy, if anybody knows? Because I actually don't know. And obviously I know Chuck.
A global brand. Now more than ever, kids around the world were picking up basketballs and playing wherever they could.
I mean,
after all,
fair
you
enough.
didn't need money to play the game.
Michael Jordan made me want to play the game. That's what it was. Born in 82. So by the time I was old enough to I was watching, I sat down and watched basketball thanks to my older brother. And then I was obsessed, addicted to this thing. And it was Michael Jordan who did it.
There were no barriers to entry. Professional leagues popped up in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Players like Dirk Nowitzki and Yao Ming showed the world could produce stars too. Today, the NBA features a record number of international players and some of the best players to ever play the game. Players like Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic.
Oh yeah, there's no reason why where you're born or what country you're in should matter as far as how good you can be. Exposure, maybe. Yeah, that's harder. But now with the internet, and smartphones and everything, exposure is a little bit, actually not a little, it's a huge, drastic difference better in order to get exposure when you're from other countries. But there's never been a reason why people can't. It's just a matter of, are the proper trainers out there? And now, yes, it's been a thing for the last 20 years and getting stronger and stronger. The best minds of the games are all over the world now training.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo. It took me a long time to get that one right too. I get it.
I struggle with that one. I usually just call him Giannis. We're all born outside of the United States.
Today, basketball is played in pretty much every country in the world and watched by billions.
And the game continues to evolve. Players like LeBron James are now billionaires and have saved the economies of entire cities. Players like Steph Curry have made the three-point shot more important than ever.
Cleveland fans, did LeBron being in Cleveland actually help the economy out there? I'm not even trolling or anything like that. I know I talk a lot of shit about LeBron, but is that a real thing? I gotta admit, if that is a real thing, that's pretty cool.
Also the WNBA, the most prominent women's professional league in the world, and it was the fastest growing brand in professional sports last year.
Yep.
And new forms of basketball.
Sad thing is they still lost money last year, but if they could use the momentum and keep pushing, they could make some money. But instead, I saw all the stuff. They were asking for a lot of freaking money. The players are right now. So I don't know if the momentum's going to continue. I was hoping the ladies would be a little patient on this one and be like, okay, we almost made a profit. Let's just play even better next year, Play even better next year. Maybe we'll make a profit. The second that the league starts making profit, we demand more money. But instead, even when they were in the red, they demanded more money. And the irony is they were asking for, I think it was a large percentage of like the revenue before the cost. So they were basically like, you got a company that's in the red after all the cost, but they're asking for the money as it comes in before any of the bills are paid, which is just crazy to me and unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen with the WNBA now. And Caitlin Clark, boy, did she create a splash, but it might be short-lived.
Like 3x3 are now Olympic events. From a small gym.
Say it again.
Fastest growing brand in professional sports last year. And new forms of basketball, like 3x3, are now Olympic events.
I didn't know that. 3v3 is an Olympic event now? Guys, I know I'm asking a lot of you guys. Stick it in the comments. Like, have you seen Olympic 3v3 basketball? Because that sounds fun.
From a small gym in Springfield, Massachusetts, to the streets of Manila, from neighborhood parks to billion-dollar arenas, basketball's 134-year story is one of constant innovation and global connection. What started as a simple game to keep some students busy in the winter became a worldwide language, one that unites people of a diverse range of cultures and ethnicities.
And all it took was a ball, 2 baskets, and a Canadian. Kobe.
Nice layup.
What about you, punks?
Huh? You call me out?
Do you play basketball?
Fuck yeah, I play basketball.
Do you watch basketball? Do you watch basketball?
Yeah.
Do you watch
I
basketball? Do you smell basketballs?
Not really.
That's a little weird. Who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
MJ. Too easy.
And I realize that most of my regular viewers don't give a crap at all about basketball, but that's what I do. Alienate my audience. Thanks for staying curious anyway.
That was a good video. That was a really good video.
Son of a...
Oh my God. Oh man. Eat your ham, Tina. Tina, eat your ham. Gosh. Okay. Yeah, this is a really cool video. I learned a lot of stuff, actually. I wasn't sure how much I was going to learn off it, but I had a really good time, and I learned a lot. So thank you for the request to watch this one. Yeah, I gotta admit, it took a good solid month there for me to react to this. So my bad on it taking so long, but there's a lot of stuff on the list to get to, but I had a good time. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys had a good time as well. And I'm sure it's going to be a very busy comment section, so I'll see you down there because I sure did ask a lot of questions, and hopefully some of you guys always do. You guys are always awesome. So I'm sure I'll be seeing your comments down below, and we'll converse about the couple of things I wasn't 100% on, I wasn't sure on. But anyways, you guys, thanks for going on this journey with me. Let me know if you made it to the end, and like the vid on your way out if you could. Remember James A. Naismith, and remember Minecraft was wrong. I said it was 1890. I was dead wrong. I was off by 1 year. 1891, the game of basketball was created by James A. Naismith in Springfield. All right, you guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Like the vid on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, it's to be water, my friends. Peace out.